over here and over here, other haplogroups. Now, unlike what we see on ftDNA, I can even make it bigger, which is a little easier. What Chip has done is from the sample person who is the living person now, he has tried to fill in from the family tree the ancestry up to the oldest, or at least self-declared oldest ancestor that that person knows, or that is in Don Whiteside's tree. And the object, of course, is to find the oldest common ancestor, not only for the haplogroup, but also for all of us, for that matter. Now, as I go through this presentation, just to keep things simple, keep a couple of numbers in mind. I'm going to use, instead of using the full haplo number, this brown group, which is Joe K, is 550. Greg and Benjamin White are 445. And this one down here is 576. So I'll concentrate on the brown and the blue and the yellow. But what I'm going to say is applicable to the whole chart. And Richard, you can get into this and look at your ancestry as I can mine. But this is a very useful time-based ancestry individual haplogroup analysis based on big Y only. So this is a reference point which I'll come back to. Now, the second reference point that I want to make is this, which you saw last time, which is what I call the Whiteside SNP history tree. And rather than being, and I'll make it a little bigger, rather than being big Y only, it is all of the samples that we have got in the Whiteside Family Association on ftDNA. So it starts down here, 31,000 years ago, comes up the line, and importantly is the P312 group, where there are branches, and comes down to Arliss, who is an L21. From L21, we have a group that comes down. I should have looked up who this Joanna is, I forget. And Mary and Jack is off this group. There's another group off DF13 that comes down here. There's a Thomas and a Joe Gresham. The main group comes down here, Terry to 13128, and then these guys are all on that chart that we just saw that Chip did. And at the end of this, what I'm going to suggest as my next steps is trying to overlap or to join this data with Chip's data. And just the last point is from this L151, you come over to 106. These are all familiar numbers, and come down to Gil Allison. And I'm sorry that Leanne isn't with us, because yeah, for some reason, Gil Allison is related to Wilf over here. They're in the same family. and I've got to ask her how that comes together. But the big Y that we see is only this around here. So the periphery tends to get lost because it's not on the common big Y. But anyway, that's another chart that has been done. The third chart that I want to reference, and there are maps, and there are 3 maps here. The maps are very complicated. Chip has done all of this mapping work. The maps have various groupings, but this one you can see is by different family. This is 3400, and this is, I guess, my group, and so on. This is the Wilf, James Allen group, and this is the big picture. In other words, they left the United Kingdom and came to America. And on a close-up basis, this one isn't the one I looked at before, but on a close-up basis, you can get down to, oh, here we are. I was waiting for that to fill in. You can get right down to where the self-declared oldest ancestor lived and where he moved to in Ireland, on the assumption that they did go to Ireland. And then from there, on the American side, it is by postal code where the sample lives. So you can go right to the region that the postal code gives you. So this is kind of the database that we have got. Everybody okay so far?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're here